factors, when is this something that one has to get used to? These hiccups, these problems, these challenges, that it's the Nigerian factor. We have to get used to it. So if it wasn't so far spread out, that means it was okay. If the margin of error is minimal, okay, that means the elections are okay. But doesn't every vote have to count?
You see, when we look at it and we're being to give room for the Nigerian factor, which to my mind is very negative, it doesn't help the situation. INEC had all the time in the world to prepare for these things. My initial problem with the setup was that if my ATM card will pay me in Maiduguri, pay me in Lagos, pay me in Ibadan, also pay me in UK, okay, is that robust? So technology is just there, available for us to deploy, but we didn't get it right. To start with, some people came from far places. They were living here before, but they had moved. So they had to come and spend the night with friends and neighbors. Some stayed in hotels for them to vote. Right now, some of them have gone back to their homes to return again this night. Some have chosen to stay again. They let their family, whatever. All these are not things that people love. I mean, they are not nice experiences, of course. It should have been so possible that wherever you were, the system is computerized and it's online. If they got it right from the one, you'll be able to vote wherever you are. Number two.
You know, the difficulty, and I've had this conversation with people, the difficulty in making it, if you like, a national PVC where you can vote is, while that may work for the presidential elections, it skews results when it comes to other elections. So if you were voting for a state governor and you don't live in Maiduguri, you live in Lagos, you pay your taxes in Lagos, yeah, and you happen to travel to Maiduguri, in effect, what you'll be voting for is the Maiduguri or Borno state governor, as opposed to your state in Lagos. and, you know, I'm sure as we get along, they will probably sort that out. But I was interested in finding out, under these circumstances, though, are you satisfied with the fact that INEC is running elections again for you tomorrow? And how do you understand the way the process is going to work? The question I asked earlier, are you going to have to be accredited again to vote, or is the accreditation from today going to stand and you get to vote tomorrow?
Okay, what they said, which we eventually had to agree on, is that they will use the technology today for us to start voting from tomorrow. The issue is, it's a little bit painful that you sat through a whole day waiting. People didn't have breakfast. Thank God that the community provided some relief, you know, some drinks and stuff to keep them going. Okay, now tomorrow is Sunday. A lot of them are Christians who want to be in church. Today, now this is the Sunday. It's also Palm Sunday, okay, for some people. Okay, and for me as a person, I will be teaching the Bible class tomorrow in my church. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it.
For you, does it negate the process? So does it discredit it for you?
It's a reflection of a failure in the system. The process should have been smooth enough to start and run through as scheduled.
But again, his
just
question...
a moment, let's just hold that thought because Joy Odinye, our correspondent in Anambra State, is joining us from Oka. Hello, Joy.
Hello, Charles.
Well,
good evening.
Good evening. Okay, point of correction. Actually, it's good morning because this is Sunday morning, in case you've forgotten.
Okay.
Well, I think it's been quite a day for you, but then where exactly are you now, and what's the situation there?
Okay, I'm in Oka right now, and from what I gathered, is that collation is still ongoing now in various local government areas in the state.
The collation going on, what have been the unique challenges you've faced in that part of the country? Remember, the president did remark at some point that the Anambra State governor was very unhappy about something and actually called him, and he had to calm Governor Obiano down. So what has it been like during the day?
Well, I would say that the enthusiasm with which voters trooped out to begin the process of voting in these 2016 presidential and National Assembly elections was somehow doused when their expectations juxtaposed with the reality on ground. I tell you, the governor has every right to be, disappointed, because for himself, when he came to his ward, Aguleri Ward 4, Unit 004, for accreditation in the morning, no INEC official was on site. Not even their material. Nothing was there. And it was around 10:22 a.m. and nobody was there. So he was not only disappointed, he was also embarrassed, because accreditation was set to begin by 8 a.m. but even at 10:22 a.m. nothing was happening. So it was really disturbing for the governor, and he had every right to shout, because in Anambra State enough sensitization went on, telling the electorate to come out and en masse and vote, because their vote will be very, very important in what will be happening in the state. So that was exactly what happened in the morning. But later on, he came and he was accredited. But moving over to other senatorial zones, maybe let's look at Ward 5, Agoloka, where we went in the morning. At 9 o'clock, nothing was happening there. The INEC officials were not there too. People were complaining, because they all came out, full of enthusiasm to vote for their, choice candidate. But nothing was happening then. Then we went over to Aguluzi in Anyocha local government area in the Anambra Central Senatorial Zone. The situation was even complicated, because there, the crowd, the turnout was intimidating, and the corridor wasn't working. And according to the people we interviewed, they asked the INEC officials to resort to the manual method. And they refused stoutly, saying that they were waiting for orders from above, before they could start accrediting the people manually.
Joey,
it was a big problem. They were shouting. Some of them said that they must vote, in the morning, because they really prepared for it, and nothing could stop them from voting. And we thought maybe when we get to Ward 33, Ezibo Village, Ibuku, in the South Senatorial Zone, maybe it will be a different thing. But when we got there, we were also disappointed to notice that the candidate failed again, and the people there could not hide their disappointment. They complained. In fact, today it was a harvest of complaints. It came in deluge. Everybody was complaining. Some political watchers we saw were even questioning the essence of the huge resources, spent in procuring the candidate, when the services it was, procured for wasn't rendered eventually. So everybody was disturbed. And then at the Civic Center, about Ward 1, which has 2 polling units also, the accreditation started late again. Card reader issue. In fact, it's a major challenge today in Anambra State. Voting began around after 3 there, and there was another type of complaint there. They said there were some missing ballot materials, and there were those that were incomplete too, for the House of Reps. In a polling unit where they have up to 400 voters, what they got for House of Reps ballot materials were 30. So, what about the other the people that will vote? Will they leave out the House of Reps and vote for Senate and President? It was a big challenge. So, all over the state, one problem or the other. So the governor, should be disturbed, naturally.
Joy, if I could ask quickly, overall, are you able to give us a sense of what percentage of people were eventually able to vote and those that were not able to vote?
Well, I cannot say exactly, but I know that around that after 3, when voting commenced, there were too many people in various polling units.